Assalamu alaikum guys. I hope everybody will be fine. This question is asked by a student in comment box. For 19 feet span, what should be the size of column and beam? So let's get started. First of all, I will tell you, I am not teaching steel structural design in this video. Just I am guiding you. For steel structural design for beam, column, slab and steel reinforcement, you should have steel structural design for 2-story, 3-story, 4-story. Then you will follow that drawing on construction site, then you can complete your project. But sometime we don't have steel structural design for G+1 story. So what should be the size of beam, column and its steel reinforcement details? So therefore I am guiding you in this video. Okay. First of all guys, remember one thing. If we have a span between two columns, suppose this is RCC column and this is the other one. Okay, on the top of this is beam. Okay, suppose this size is from 14 to 15 feet. For G plus 1 story. Okay, for G plus 1 story from 14 to 15 feet, what should be the size of beam and column for normal residential building? So if you have a steel structural design, so you can follow that one, because now you didn't ask anything about the structure load. So therefore if you have a structure load, so for that we will do the calculation deeply. So from that structure load we will find the size of column, beam, its steel reinforcement detail. So therefore we don't have anything. So for normal residential building G plus 1 story, if the distance or the spacing between two columns is from 14 to 15 feet, so the size of the column should not be less than 9 by 9 inches. It should not be less than this. You can say this is the minimum size of RCC column. And don't use less than 6 steel rods for G plus 1 story. 6 steel rods should be used. Okay, and the dia of each longitudinal bar should not be less than 12 mm. With the spacing of lateral ties, so this is the lateral ties. So the lateral tie dia should not be less than 6 mm. With the spacing of 150 mm. 100 and 150 mm. How? As you can see, this is the long section. Sorry, this is column. Okay, so the column should be divided by 3 sections. Okay, top this one as well as this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. At the bottom, the lateral tie spacing should be here. In this case, 100 mm. 100 mm, center to center, you can see like this for lateral ties. Okay, and the hooks should be bent with 135 degree, not on 90 degree, not on this. This is okay, right? After L by 3 distance, you can increase the lateral tie spacing, which should be 150 mm in this place, center to center. In the case of lapping, when we are providing the lapping in column, in that case the lateral tie spacing should be 100 mm. Remember, as well as in the top, same you can use as I discussed before. Here we can use 100 mm or 4 inches, you can say, center to center distance. So this is the column design and its steel reinforcement. So it should be the minimum size. But guys, I recommend you, what is the best design for G plus 1 normal residential building if you don't have the structure load? So the size of the column should be there. In that case, it should be So this is my recommendation. Okay, guys, the size of the column should be 12 by 9 inches, G plus 1 story, 12 by 9 inches. And in this case, you can use also here 6 steel rods. It's okay, 6 steel rods should be used. Okay, so these 4 steel rods, the corner 4 steel rods, this one as well as this one, okay, also these two, okay, this dia should be 16 mm. It should be 16 mm for G plus 1 story. It will be safe, okay. And here, guys, the spacing, lateral tie spacing is this one, same like this one. But here, these two longitudinal bars dia should be 12 mm. This is my recommendation. The structure will be safe in the future. So you can also construct one other floor. It means G plus 2 story. It is safe. Here we have factor of safety. Okay, so this is my recommendation. If you don't have the structural design and you don't know about the structure load, etc., so in that case the size of the column should be 12 by 9 inches, 6 steel rods, corner steel rods dia should be 16 millimeter, other 2 extra bars and side bars should be 12 mm, lateral tie spacing should be 100 to 150 mm, the hooks should be bent with 135 degree, and the dia of lateral tie should not be less than 6 mm. But I recommend you guys the dia of lateral ties should be in this case 8 mm. That should be for lateral ties. So this is the size of column. So in this case, guys, you can use up to 19 feet span. But here, for this 19 feet span, okay, so for 19 feet span, size of column should be 9 by 12 inches, right, with 6 steel rods, 4 steel rods, corner 4 steel rods should be 16 mm. Other 2 steel rods mm. Okay, this is for 19 feet span, so it is safe, especially for G plus 2 stories. You can use this one. But now come to the size of the beam. This is the size of column. But here you have also a question that what should be the size of footing, as well as I am telling you the footing size for this. So the footing size you can select here like this. Okay, so the size of the footing should not be less than, in this case, 3 by 3 feet, not less than. But this is my recommendation that the size of the footing should be, size of footing should be 4 feet by 4 feet. Okay, and here use 12 mm dia with the spacing of 150 mm by 150 mm. Okay, so also as well as this is the size of footing for this. Now guys, it should not be less than 3 by 3 feet. But okay, so this is my recommendation without structure load, etc. Recommendation. Okay, now guys, what should be the size of column? The size of beam. Okay, so in this case the size of beam should be for 19 feet span. The size of the beam should be beam size. I don't have place, so therefore I am writing here. Okay, so the beam size should be 12-inch depth and 9-inch width. Okay, use 4 steel rods at the bottom, 2 at the top, so it's okay. The bottom steel rod dia should not be less than 12 mm, and lateral tie, here the stirrups, okay, so the stirrups dia should be here 8 mm with the spacing of 100 to 150 mm center to center, as I discussed before in the column. So in that case here, so this is total length. Suppose this is 19 feet. So L by 4 distance, and the L by 4 distance, L by 4, the stirrup spacing where we have negative bending moment. Okay, so in that case we will provide here stirrups closely, which should be with 100 mm, as well as here. But here at the mid, after L by 4, the stirrup spacing should be maximum compared to this one, which should be 150 mm, C/C. So this is its details. Okay, but hooks should be bent with 135 degrees, same like in lateral ties. The concrete cover should be here, guys. Concrete cover should be 40 mm. This is best concrete cover. Okay, and here remember, guys, these two steel rods you should make crank, so it should be crank bar same like this, guys. Here you can see. Okay, or at the top you will provide two other steel rods. If you don't want to provide crank bar, so provide two other steel rods to resist negative bending moment, because here at the mid we have positive bending moment here, and here we have negative bending moment, so its shape is same like this, guys. To avoid negative bending moment, we will provide extra rods or crank bar. So guys, this is the topic for 9 feet span, size of column, beam and footing, as well as I discussed, and also its state reinforcement. Hope this video can help you. Thanks for watching. See you in next video. Goodbye.